Good afternoon. It's Terry Estrada, and I'm a watercolor artist. Today I am going to do another set of 4 postcards, 4x6s. They are already pre-drawn so as to not take up too much time. I'm going to do Oklahoma fish, local fish that we can find here in our lakes and rivers or whatever we have, bodies of water. I'm going to have a perch, a bass, a crappie, and a catfish. So, and my setup is kind of tight. So I normally like to start with the furthest away, just because it's out of camera range. So I might have to move my paints for that one. See if I can't just keep everything in line. There we go. I think that's better. And I can still have my paint here. All right, so I've got just a small selection of brushes that I'm going to use, and I will start out using my number 2 quill. But before I do, I am going to take off some of the graphite. I don't want too many pencil marks to stay on my paper. Watercolor is transparent, and so anything that you have underneath will show through. So not necessarily, I mean, catfish is going to be pretty dark, but I still don't want all those pencil marks. So I'll roll this kneaded eraser across the top just to pick up some graphite, and it stops it from smearing too. So I can move that around. There we go. My catfish, I used my pencil a little too hard on that one, but it'll be okay. It'll just sink down into it. So let's start with the crappie. And I'm gonna just kind of add water where I feel like I want to add water. And you know what? Let's start with some just clean water all over the page. And that way, when I do add my blues, it can just go wherever it wants, not having to really instruct it too much. This is Daniel Smith, French ultramarine blue. I love to use it as my sky, and you know what? Crappie is kind of in murkier water, so I am going to add just a hint of like muddiness, I feel like. Anybody live in Lake Eufaula, you know that water is not blue. So there we go. Here we go. So while that dries for a minute, I'm going to come down to the perch. I have 2 horizontal and 2 vertical. So while my page is horizontal, I'm going to go ahead and do the perch as well. And with the perch, I'm going to try to avoid his body and just kind of wiggle around. Just again with just clean water. This just kind of makes the process go a little bit faster. So I'm going to hop into some bright green and get down here at the base, down at the bottom of him. Perch like to be into the grass. areas. And then I'll add some blue at the top. I'm just pushing around the pigment. This is a wet on wet, so the water's moving it where it wants to go. I've got a little bit of a puddle right here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. You want it to be cohesive and like it's actually part of the process here. I've got my little towel. I'm gonna just dry my brush off here. Oy. So with perch have kind of a darker top part and a lower kind of green with little stripes on him. And he's also got really, really bright orange fins at the bottom. So I'm going to mix that color up real quick. And I'm going to use Hansa Yellow Light for my yellow portion. And then I will go into quinacridone red for the red part to make my orange. It's right next up my opera pink, and I don't mind if an opera pink particle gets in here. That's not really the orange I want to go for. I want a little bit more brighter orange. There we go. Almost neon color. I think it got into some of my buff titanium, so it's made it a little opaque. I'm gonna add some more yellow. Yeah, there we go. So once this dries down just a bit, I can do my yellows, and my crappie's still wet over here. Oops, sorry. Is everything in focus? There we go. All right. So I can go in, I'm gonna just kind of hydrate my greens because these fish are green. A lot of them are. So now my perch, I'm gonna go into Serpentine Genuine, and it is made out of the gem serpentine. So it has like a granulation that I really do like, and I'm just tapping it in with a puddle of water, and I'm going to tap it into where the stripes are meeting each other. I'm going to let that puddle up. There you go. So in between each dark stripe, this beautiful green is going to be. Okay. And it is a little dark at the top. I'm just feeding that water that I puddled onto it. And as it dries, the granulations are going to separate, and it is going to just display such an amazing difference of color. It has like this super limey colors in it, and it has like this yellow brown pigments in it. The way it moves, it's really nice. It's super nice. Okay. I'm gonna let that alone and kind of use the same colors for my crappie, but my crappie is going to be like a full-fledged crappie here. Hold on. Oh, trying to get my reference photos back in. Gotta look at real fish in order for it to be authentic here. And these will take a minute to dry. I can always go in and with my heated tool, but I'm going to just let it sit because I love the separation and I don't want to push it. So, okay. These are my reference photos on my crappie. So I'm going to try to get that kind of coloration, but you know, I don't want to go into too much detail to get to that point. But I've got little circles over here drawn, and he's kind of got a white belly, but he's got this really nice green stripe that just goes all the way across his back. And his tail is shaped a little funny too. So I need to maybe get some color behind his tail. And his tail comes up this way. It's got a lot of color, a lot of green. So we'll give the whole fish a wash of color. So it's not just stark white or the background color. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit of blue right in between where I see that I've missed. I don't want it to look strange after I'm done. So I'm going to go back into my blue. Just get a little blue. Here we go. Blow up his tail. There we go. Oh, look at how it's drying. I'm going to lift it up. Like, can you see the difference? That limey green and that yellow is just, it's separating so pretty. If I were to touch that and mess with it, then we wouldn't be able to see that granulation. So I'm going to go ahead and use my heated tool just so that I can get this flat. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm going to lift up my board so that the water settles at the tip of the paint. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. So half my work is already done for me just by choosing the right color of paint. And Daniel Smith is a professional paint brand, and it's not necessary to have like that kind of paint, but this is a special paint that has granules in the blend. So some watercolors, like whenever you see a watercolor at the store with the rainbow colors, and it's, when you get it wet, it is what it is. You can kind of layer it, but professional watercolors, they have they're actually ground and made into like the most perfect colors and stuff. So now I'm going to use, now this is green Apatite Genuine. So again, this is a granular color, and it's dark. It's going to have a separation, but it's only going to separate like, it's not going to have two tones. It'll just be this, the color that it is, but it just separates. And so I'm going to get his back in and up his tail, and just right here along. I'm not really certain about parts of fish. I like to eat crappie, but I don't care to fish. I'm not a fisher girl. My husband is. He loves to go fishing, and sometimes I wish that I could just let him go all day long, but I get nervous about weird things on fishing. My father-in-law actually fell at the dam and broke 3 ribs, drove home, and kind of refused to even go to the doctor until we were like, no, seriously, you need to go to the doctor. And men are just men, you know what I mean? They think they're invincible. So I'm just kind of tapping my brush around to define spaces and to kind of give texture where this fish's gills are. And the crappie actually has different little oh, I'm so sorry for hitting the camera. Sorry. And I'm going to also use phthalo blue, just a hint of it, because boy, that phthalo blue is super strong. But I see blue in this reference photo. I see it like right at the tip of his head. So I kind of want to introduce some blue here, and it looks like there's blue on his fins back here. If this is not accurate, I apologize, but this is what I'm seeing. And I feel like, there we go. And so I'm going to make those kind of disappear. Yep. I'm rubbing it out just with a clean brush and a little dampness. I think that might be a little too much blue, but I'll see. I can take it down and make it make sense. I've got a new setup coming, so that the camera's not right in front of where I'm painting, because it gets very difficult to, for me to see everything I'm doing and to paint in an accurate way. Sometimes, like, I don't know if you've watched the lighthouse tutorial. I had a wonky little lighthouse for a while until I actually picked up my board and I was able to see that how wonky it was, and I did not like that. So they have like these like stripes on their fins, and they are beautiful. And then like right in here. And if there's a stripe here and a stripe there. And I'll be going back in with the green, but I want that blue under my fish. So whenever I'm bringing the greens back in, I have this color that you're like, oh wow, how'd she get that there? You know, that's what I want to accomplish. So we start it, it's like a glaze, an underlaying color. Glaze, there we go. I think they just pop out like this. I'm not really seeing my line, so I won't make it curvy. Okay, now I don't want that to dry. I'm going to go back into my Serpentine Genuine and get some more color. It's got such a beautiful, I love that. It's not going to show the same here, but now I'm going to, crappie have little dots on them, and this is going to push the blue that I put on. I don't know if you can see, I'm sorry. So I put that blue, and now I'm just going to dot some green into it. Where it's too wet, it'll fuzz out, but these are tiny down here. There we go. It's kind of making it. It's almost there. I'm going to add some dark in just a second. I want to lift it up just so I can see just a little bit better. Let me see. I want to take out some of this water. This is a very thirsty brush, so I've dried it out on my towel here so I can come in and suck out the water droplets that I had put in, and it just kind of leaves a ring around it. So it's like, was it there? Was it really there? Kind of thing. And it was, but I'm taking it out. Okay. And these have really spiky fins, and they will hurt. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go back into my green Appetite Genuine to make it darker now. So I'll dry off my towel. I'm going to turn these. They keep wobbling, so I'm going to turn them that way. There we go. So my green Appetite Genuine. This is a dark green. Has granulation in it. And I'm going to come back in and just go back under the eye. Now I haven't placed the eye yet, but his mouth is open, and he's kind of got like these, like, I know that he has gills, but I don't think this is a gill. This is like the face bone. I'm not really certain, but I know he's gonna have these nasty little spines that will hurt you. Okay. And now I can actually put some more dots. and he's going to have a darker tail right here and kind of dark spots everywhere here. I'm going to use the body of my brush just to give it, there we go. Kind of looks like a piranha. All right. So I want to go into lamp black now, and I'm just going to lay that down on my palette before, because I kind of want it soupy. The consistency of your paint can flow from like super watery to like a honey or a milk consistency. And right now, I want it watery, but I also want some body in it. So this would, I would say this is milky. This is like a milk feeling. So again, now we're going to go back into our crappie. And it's kind of got a red eye. So I won't touch that. Oh, I've got had a little hair. That's not supposed to be. And I think we can just dabbing with my little brush. It's got a lot of pigment into the brush. And it's okay if your fish doesn't look like how it's supposed to, you know, in real life. This is just, I'm just having fun. Please don't come at me about your fish. So they have like these, it's like little dabs of dark color everywhere. I guess it's like for blending in, like a tiger or a zebra would have these markings to help them hide. But they're pretty high on the food chain, so I'm not really certain why they're hiding. But you never know, like, who's the top dog. I guess it would be top catfish. I've seen catfish come out of Lake Eufaula that are bigger than my kid, so I would definitely be careful. There we go. And then just extend these spines. All right, so now I'm not finished with it yet, I don't think. But I don't want to do too much with the details, but it looks silly. I'm going to add, this is brown iron oxide, and I will add this as the eye of my crappie. I have a visitor. If just 1 second, Sulema, if you could come get the door. I'd appreciate that. We're gonna have, my grandson's here and he's about to leave. So, we might have a little tiny ruckus just for a second. But that's what I get for choosing to do a live. Right before pickup time. Here we go. Okay, add some more spots. They have little tiny spots right here too on their head. Is what I'm seeing. It's like all the way around. Okay, so I didn't really do a background for the crappie or the perch, but I feel like that crappie looks really strange. His forehead is not, I think it needs to be shaped a little bit different. I'm not really certain what I did on my drawing. There we go. Do. He ate really, really good too.
Did he?
Yes.
Good.
He ate a lot today. So, all right.
Did you take sleeve out? Yes, you did. Okay, good. Okay.
Kind of like that. And then, nope. He's not had any bottles all day.
Did I bring one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to come in here and like I did with the crappie, or not crappie, but the perch, I'm going to make it look like he's swimming somewhere in the grassy area there. And I'm just using that Serpentine Genuine. There we go. Maybe put some that Appetite at the bottom. Here we go. So my new setup will allow me to not have to work around this pole. Throw some brown in that. Not really certain what that is, but I'm just gonna add it. There we go. Okay, so the crappie is done. I'm gonna work on the perch. Okay. And with the perch now, I'm gonna need to use some of the black and well, I had a perch reference. Okay, I'm just gonna wing it. The other side of the little divides are really dark, and I'm just gonna use a puddle of lamp black. And remember, as I'm puddling, I can pull back any of this color. So it's just gonna puddle for right now. And then I can pull it back out whenever I want to with my brush after I dry it. There we go. And I'm gonna let that sit just for a minute and puddle, and then rinse my brush out, dry it, and get ready to There he is. So this is my reference for the perch. I'm a little off. It's a little golden, more golden than green. So I'll add some quinacridone gold. So now I've got the dark, and I'm going to pull it out. So now it's more of a grayish color. And you wouldn't be able to get that just by adding a color, because you have to let the pigment settle just a little bit before going over it. And you kind of have to have that thirsty brush. All right, so now that I can see my reference better, I am going to go with Clean Water Quinacridone Gold, which is a yellow. It is so pretty. It's an orangey yellow, and when it comes in, oh my goodness, it's so pretty. So I'm gonna maybe put it right here on his cheek and around his eye, just a tiny bit. He's a little white on the bottom side, just like right here. His flesh is, or the scales are white. So I'm gonna just kind of rub that into both. I'm trying to stay out of the black area that I put in, and his whole tail is pretty much this yellowy gold color. Yeah, come on over. I can't read all your comments because I don't have my Facebook set up. Since I'm looking at reference photos, I can't reply. I wish y'all could just be here and sit down. I'd have some wine with you. I am going to try to paint while I'm in Eufaula during that festival. Oh, I need to push this out. I'm so sorry. Y'all couldn't see what I was doing. Okay. So now I kind of got a damp brush, and I want to just brush this yellow over the whole thing. And I'm barely touching it with my brush, with all of that yellow. And his fins have a yellow stripe in them, but his fins are pretty dark. So I can do that. And then he has, I want to say a pectoral fin right here, but it's orange. So I'm gonna rinse my brush out and go into that red mix and the orange, and I'm gonna use the gold. Oh yeah, that's the color I want. So crappie have super weird bright orange bottom fins. It is very strange. I guess that's what makes them. Did I say crappie? I meant perch. Perch. This is a perch. And he has a little bit up on this one. And just underneath that gill is what I'm looking at. And this fin right here. Okay. All right. I want that to settle down, so I'm going to get my heated craft tool because I don't want it to move. I got to add dark to it, and I don't want them to bleed together. Yeah, that crappie's still looking weird to me. I might be messing with that later. And tomorrow, I just want to, we are going to do an art class at the public library here in McAllister on August 4th. It's free. It'll be at 5 o'clock p.m. and we're gonna do like seascape stuff, and it's free. It's teenagers, adults, anyone who wants to learn to paint can come and join us at 5 p.m. on August 4th. That's a Monday. And so I've got my little lamp black mixture. And remember, we used that lamp black for I just patted off just a little bit of water. And now I'm going to come in. I still have my number 2 quill, but it's been working for me so far, so I'm not going to mess with it. And I'm just kind of filling in the blanks here. They got a really dark top fin. Okay, and then this one, I didn't even paint this one. Oh my goodness. But this one kind of comes out and does the same thing. It's pretty dark. And this. Okay. And then these don't even have really, just tapping in some black to kind of give the scales a look. And then his eye is definitely absolutely dark. And it's a big O eye. We're going to leave the white of the paper as his belly. Pick up some more black. Let me do that. And Katie's my daughter, so thank you for responding, Katie, because again, I can't see the comments to respond. And I am going to come back in here with a little bit of color. Oh, he's got some like stuff here. Kind of want to, not that I want a cartoon outline of this fish, but I don't want to leave him. Here we go. It's looking a little bit better. I'm going to rinse my brush out. And again, he has got some awesome orangey little wings under here. So, gonna come back in, just see if I can't articulate that a little bit better with, I've got a lighter color that it might help. I don't know. Okay, I think my perch is done. And I'll let this come out to the end, just blur him a little. I don't like a hard edge. There we go. I feel like he's done. And I don't mind him. I mean, I don't feel like there's very much I would change or edit. I might make his eyeball just a little darker with like one more spot. There we go. My crappie looks like a crazy person, or maybe a zombie crappie. I don't know. A zombie crappie? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so now I'm gonna move these paints so I don't knock them off my desk here. And we're gonna start the last two. So the last two is a catfish and a bass. Whee. Now catfishes are gray. They or to me they're gray. And I had a reference. I can't find hardly any of my references. I don't know why. There we go. So I'm gonna do gray and blue for this reference. And so I'm gonna come in and just kind of wet this spot back here. His little body and bottom and stuff. And I'm just gonna throw in some color. I got a piece of driftwood back there. So I'm just gonna paint all over him real quick. There we go. I like that. And so it'll help me because I do want to put some blue on his body as well, along with, you know, because catfish, I think there's one that is called a blue catfish or something like that. I don't know if I can get, there we go. Maybe I can get closer. Like that. All right. All right, and now I'm gonna, to get gray, of course you're gonna use black, but we'll water it down. And I do want to, like, just put some dots on his body. This is his tail, his spine, his forehead, and I can let that just smooth out however it wants to adjust itself. And put some color there on his fins. I've got some fins right here. His mouth. All right. So it looks like a mess, but it's going to be a nice mess, I think. And let it dry, and then I'll come back and put some extra details on it. I see some green on it as well, but I'm not certain that the green, it might. But catfish are pretty much gray skinned. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can, let me pull the camera back just a little. No, you can't really see it. Dang it. Well, I don't know. All right, I'll just set it down and lean over. So I'm gonna use my gray, and I'm gonna come in here. I really want to put more gray in his mouth for certain. And I'm just letting it puddle up, because it will leave like a granular section. Now behind his gill is pretty dark too. Like a shadow line or something. And then there's shadow here. Where's backbone. And then up onto his tail. The back side of his tail is super dark. And he's kind of spinning. So, and then right here. All right, and then the tips of this fin are super dark. My husband just caught a whole bunch of channel cat, and he came home and did a fish fry for our youngest daughter. She absolutely is a fish lover here. She loves to eat fish. They have little spots. Okay, so I want to add dark here and some dark right in there. And then right on his head. There's like these like little things. I'm not really certain what to call it. And then under his eye. His other eye's over here. And his little whisker. Okay. So I'm going to use the base of, since I have black on my brush and it's like almost running out. It's not got a lot of pigment anymore on it, so I can come in and coat the whole fish without it changing too much color. There's a little thing right there. There we go. And because I've got that blue glaze on there, it is really, oh, I really like him. He's going to be my favorite, I think. Boy, and I don't like catfish. Catfish are gross. They stink and they make a noise when you catch them. They're like raw, raw, raw. Weird. He didn't want to be caught, and now he's making a fit. All right. I'm gonna try to let that dry. I'm gonna go grab my brown iron oxide because I put a branch in the back of this guy. Catfish are always either found in a hole or next to a tree or something, so I'm gonna just add in my tree if I can see it. I'm gonna turn my picture upside down just so I can see my branch. I had like little branches coming out. I'm hoping that that's not too much of a distraction of the fish itself. Let's see. I'm going to add some green to it. Because it's been underwater for a minute, I think it's going to have some mossy yuckiness to it. There we go. While I got him upside down, I'm going to add some more of my lamp black right here on the back side of his tail. It's in shadow, and I want to make sure it stays in shadow. And then he's got, like I said, these tips right here, super dark in my reference photo. And this tail stays pretty dark here too. But it's swerving away, so I don't know if you can tell that upside down. All right. He's got a little back fin here that I keep losing. Okay. Gonna circle his eye. But his eye is not black. It's like a golden color, so I'll add that in just a minute. All right, and then it's got more blue on this side. So I'm going to clean my brush off and grab into my blue, and right here, there's more blue. And so I'm using it like a glaze to glaze the fish in blue. And then right here on this outer edge, he's also got a layer of darker blue. Whoop, too dark. Too dark, too dark. So I will come back in with just a dry, clean brush and try to take that blue away. This is what happens when you paint upside down, Terry. Thinking you're just so smart. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. Because I needed that blue, but not like super duper blue. Okay, so now I'm going to add some gold to it. But I don't want to get it to where it's going to turn green. I don't want my fish to turn green. So his upper lip has a little shade of gold. And this back fin has some gold on it. And all these little ones have gold on them. Even up here, this little spiny fin, blah, 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 the one that's on his back, has some gold. And I did not look at my log the right way, because this is all supposed to be filled in. So thank goodness I can turn my page. There we go. Yeah, and that was all supposed to be filled in. But it's okay. It's about the fish anyway, so. And I told you he had kind of a golden eye. I'm going to put this brown just underneath. And he's got a little bit of like color here and here. Okay. Just kind of making it, he's curved. So then these will come down and these will come out. There we go. Oh, I am so sorry. The whole time I'm just sitting here not even thinking about you guys. I'm so sorry. So I was just adding color to my catfish. And I am going to also pull out my titanium white, just because this sucker, it has so many beautiful shades and colors, but I'm not reaching the depth that I need to. And I feel like it's because like the muscles on the catfish are emphasized in the reference photo, and I am not picking that up here. So I'm gonna try, like down here, it's like a muscle here. And then this is.
Hey, you took a sleeve out and left it at your house, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm gonna change bags over because this one just undid on me. It just broke, kind of.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put I'm gonna do his elephant bag now.
Okay, babe.
Alright.
All right, love you.
Love you too. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Oh, you my baby. And he's got some sparkles over here. So I'm gonna try to do that. All right, I feel like he's almost finished. I'm gonna put a little bit more dark on him. This live has gone so crazy. But thank y'all for sticking with me. Like I said, he's got a dark spot here. And dark here. And a dark way up here. Just trying to marry these colors together. And I feel like it's gonna work, but you never know. Okay, and he's got dots on his skin. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. I'm not loving that color right there. All right, he's kind of ugly. I'm not super happy with him, but a little channel cat. With his little gold pieces. And he's kind of, I don't know, he's got a weird forehead here. All right, And then now I'm going to put his little gold eyes in there. There we go. Alright, he's kind of got a little bit of gold there. Ugh, I just messed that up. I'll just dab it out. There we go. When you mess up, you can just pull it out. There we go. Oh, and I put a little worm. I put a worm just dangling right in front of him, so I think I'll put him in there. Do. Make him browned up a little. There we go. There we go. I hope he survives. Okay, that's my blue fish, my blue candle chat. Okay. So now we've got our beautiful bass, and I have painted a bass before as a greeting card or a gift for a friend of mine. So I know that they're mostly green, and they do have like these beautiful stripes on them. Trying to get to my reference. So this is the painting that I painted prior. So they do have like super dark green, some golds, and believe it or not, they have like a pinky jawline. So I'm kind of gonna go with my reference going off of that. So I'm gonna start with clean water, and this fish is popping out of the water, so I'm gonna try to give it some water here. I always try to use whatever different, it's a lot of phthalo. Phthalo is a very strong blue color. She packs a punch. So I'm going to wipe off some of it and go back into my French ultramarine. And this is my calmer color. And maybe have some splashes up here where he's popping out of the water. Come all the way up. And then wipe it down. Okay. Just twirling my brush where I feel like the water would pop up and make like a ripple or something. Okay. There we go. If I add the green now, it's gonna bleed into the blue, and so I'm just gonna start here on his lip area and jawline, and I'm gonna add that little baby pink, that little hint of pink there, and he's got it on the roof of his mouth too. They're kind of a beautiful fish. I like it. And just here on his little pectoral fins, kind of on most of his fins, he has that hint of pink. I don't want it too bright. That was a little too bright, but I'll knock it down. But it's just kind of at the base of his fins. There, see, I knocked it down. His tail didn't have too much pink, but there's like a line that will come in. There we go. Look how pretty. Oh, here, let me, there. And I'm using a new color, and it is called Serpentine Genuine. It's made out of the gem Serpentine. Or serpentine. Anyways, it has some movement. So where this, was painted with yellows and greens, and I just sat there and hit dots on it just to get this color change, I don't have to do it this time because this paint has the most amazing color change, and you could see it on the perch, but oh, look at that. It just went into the pink. But he's going to have definitely a dark back here. There we go. And I can tap this color all the way down to his tail. I don't want to get it into the water though. So I will keep that away. Yeah, it's still a little damp right there. So this color will change from this really pretty green, a limey green, to almost a yellow. Oh, did you see that? Oh, I don't know if you can pick that up. But when I pull it, it pulls like a lime out and some yellow out. It's really pretty. Okay. This is just kind of our first layer of color. Ooh, look at that, look at that. It's so pretty. I'm happy about this one. Just don't come out looking like a zombie, and I will be fine. Zombie fish. Okay, so his jawline is going to have this green, but the pink that I put on there, it's puddling, so I'm going to, with a dry brush, clean dry brush, I'm just going to pick up that pink that's puddling, because I don't want the green to run into it. And I could add some more pink later. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Okay, so now, oh, see how it stays dark in some spots, but then that lime green comes in. Oh, it's so pretty. Underneath his jaw, and I'm just picking up the color that's already on my painting, and I'm able to move the granulation and pigment of the paint. So the blue of the water is drying a little bit better. So I can add my tail now without a fear of it bleeding into the water. He's also got a fin here. There we go. In fact, I kind of want to twirl out some more of this blue. Maybe accentuate the edge over here. Be like, yeah, that was some jumping fish. There we go. I don't like a hard line, so if it looks like it's going to make one, I kind of try to twirl it and rub it out. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Green Apatite Genuine, which is a little darker. It still has granulation, so we're going to see a change of things, but I'm just going to hit the back, just his back. It's going to get this color. Sorry. All the way down to the tail. And then where the tail meets the body, it gets a little dose of it. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush out. And now I'm going to pull that color just with a damp brush. I'm going to pull on that color to come down just a smidge. I don't want us, you know, like I said, I don't like hard lines, so I don't want to make it look like I've outlined the fish. And then there's kind of a second row of it. And then the tail has brown. But I'm not going to use my brown oxide. I'm going to make my own brown with this green, and I'm going to use this orange. I kind of want to marry these two. There you go. And that's the color brown I wanted. So it's kind of like I'm going to say toffee color, but more like coffee with cream. And I just want to touch the edges. And because I used the green that's in his tail already, it'll complement, or in his body, it'll complement it and not really make it a struggle of becoming one color on this fish. Or not, you know, making it look distracted. Okay, so again, I rinsed my brush. And I'm going to pull these colors together and see if they'll marry each other there. I don't want to cover up all that pink. And he's got these beautiful, like, cheekbones. He's got beautiful cheekbones. And this fin right here. Gonna have to color it. And then this guy. And his belly. So I feel like that's a hard line. I don't want that there. I had too much water. Just zhuzhing my brush around, moving the pigment where I need it to be without making too bad of a hard line on anything. Alright, so now I will go into my brown oxide just because I want to get, I'm going to use a little bit more water. I just want to get a deeper edge right here on this tail. And I'm just dabbing the pigment in. I'm not really wanting to spread it just yet. Just with a hair and air is what Bob Ross would say. Hair and an air. Hair and air. So I'm using the very tip of my my quill, and it allows me to use the amount of water that I have in there, but just a hair and air, hair and air. I'll lighten that back fin up though. That was a pretty, there we go. That was a strong line. Okay. And put his lipstick on. And then his mouth is gonna have, even though it does have pink, I'm gonna have to make it darker. So using this brown oxide, iron oxide, it's gonna show off that inside of his mouth. And put a little green right here too, just to make it all come back together. All right, so now I can go in and do my dots like it needs, and this is just with that serpentine green. A little bit more on his tail and on the tips of his tail, or fins, sorry. Right here there was a little thingy. Oh, I don't like that. There we go. Hair and air. Okay, so we're almost finished with our 4. I need to put his eye in. Let me go into the black. This is lamp black, and I'm gonna make it kind of a milky consistency. And I am going to draw in his eye. Okay. Also, just kind of want to define that jaw. He's got a pretty jaw. And I hope this is not too dark. There we go. Add some more brown oxide in here just to darken it up. Okay. And he is like after some kind of fly bug thing. I'm not really certain what it is, so. Alrighty. These are my impressions of Oklahoma fish. I still have to, I will go back and fix my crappie. I wasn't in love with it, so as much as I can do, I'm going to lift up my paintings. So this is the big mouth or largemouth bass and my zombie crappie. And then we have our perch. And here is our catfish. There we go. It's a blue catfish. So they're not very like super detailed. They have a lot of just paint every which way. A mayfly, yeah, there you go, a mayfly. Yeah, so I will correct this one off camera after we're done, just because I think oh, there's a piece of glitter on my page. I don't know how that got there. It doesn't look right to me, and I'm not comfortable. Like, if I was to put it for sale, I would be embarrassed about that one. Everything else looks good. The impression is nice. I like the wood, the splash, and the perch. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I have to get 100 postcards done before September 6th, and I found out that it would take me 25 days to do 4 a day, but I've been sneaky and doing some things off camera. So like last night, I was cleaning my living room and decided to stop and paint. So I started with a kind of like a forest of cactus, and what I wanted to try to do is use the same 3 colors on every painting, and I think I used four colors. And so this was the cactus, and then I'm going out of order. Okay, so I did cactus, and then I did a forest, and then I did mountains with a lake, and then I did an ocean scene. So all of these have the same colors being used on them, and not having to worry about, like, so I've got 4 different locations. Oh, that one's not in. So I've got 4 different locations using the same color paints, and so they marry each other. They're all complementary of each other. So, all right, well, that's today's tutorial. Again, I drew my fish off camera, but just look at reference photos and pencil it in. It's super easy. And again, we're not trying for perfection here. We're just trying to show a little bit of fish. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully I will. I could probably get another set done today. I'm not really certain though, but I still got dinner to cook. So thank y'all very much, and y'all have a great day.